What's up, everybody? It's your boy Wes Grand. You're watching Urban Nerd, this channel where I give my nerd views on today's nerd news. But today, I'm giving a review on the Incredibles 2 movie. Dun, da, da, da. Yes, it has been 14 years in the making. Well, not really in the making, but in the waiting. 14 years, we've all been waiting to see this movie, directed by Brad Bird. The first one was directed by Brad Bird. So, if you guys want to know why it took so long, it's sort of his fault, but sort of not. See, the studios didn't want to leave it in anybody else's hands, seeing how they thought he did such a great job. Well, that's what they say. But he had, so after that movie, he was doing a lot of different projects. A lot of different projects kept popping up here and there. I think he still probably could have squeezed it in before 14 years, but hey, they finally gave it, he said he was ready, started making it, started putting it together. They already had a script for like years. It wasn't like the script just came together, because if you watch the movie, it seems like it's following this whole Me Too movement now, and this was written before this all happened. So maybe he saw the situation we were in, and this was like, or was heading towards, or maybe he just saw kind of behind the scenes and was like, you know, I'm gonna make a stand. So this movie, actually, if you guys wanted to know if this movie is better than the first one, I'm thinking maybe I'll wait and save that for the last, to the end, and then I'll tell you how I feel about this. But for now, if you guys don't know, this movie follows right after the first Incredibles, and it's basically the situation is still the same. It's illegal to be a superhero. Even though they're a family together now and they're all superheroes, it's still illegal. So they're kind of doing it on the cut, but they still got to run when the police come around. So this movie basically follows that after this happens, there's this bad guy called the Underminer, I believe it's called. Who's this guy? Oh, it's actually voiced by John Ratzenberger. I believe it's he was a post guy from Cheers. If you guys, that show's probably my age, but he's from Cheers, if you guys don't know him. But regardless, I know that's my word, I say that. But he was the bad guy. They're fighting it. City gets torn up. They have to go back into, you know, the whole disappearing. And this guy, this billionaire, voiced by Bob Odenkirk as Winston Dever. Winston Dever, he's a big fan of superheroes. His parents, or his dad was a huge fan of superheroes, and invested money towards making them a great thing. So he feels kind of like a certain way, the way the world is treating superheroes. So he decides to come up with this idea of somehow making the superheroes seem more likable, more relatable. So he brings in Frozone, voiced by Samuel Jackson, Elastigirl, voiced by Holly Hunter, and Bob, Mr. Incredible, voiced by Craig T. Nelson. And they come to his mansion. He introduces himself. He comes up with a plan, basically have these cameras on them, so the people, they just see the destruction. They see the superheroes going, boom, 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 stuff's happening, and they just see destruction. They don't see they're putting their lives on the line. They don't see that these bad guys leave them no choice, that there is no other way other than the way it's saved. So he decides that the best way is to have people see what's going on. And he decides that Elastigirl is the best choice. I know I'm not giving away the whole story. This is just kind of the gist of what leads to what happens in the movie. Now, they say she's the best one because, going off of the estimates, she has the least property damage when she's fighting. Bob, because, or Mr. Incredible, because he's so big and he's all brawn, it's pretty much a lot of stuff get destroyed, which is it's understandable. So she's more like the stealth, because she can sneak into places, and they give her the suit, and they give her the task of basically being a superhero of this other town. I forget what the name of the town is called, but she does her thing. I gotta tell you, this movie, if there was one movie to show empowerment of women, this movie is that. Because Mrs. Elastigirl, who was Elastigirl woman actually, but Elastigirl, yo, I didn't know, like mind you, if you're a big fan of anime, you know Monkey D. Luffy, or the kid from One Piece, Luffy. Yes, he stretches. He has a lot of moves, so seeing what he can do, definitely had an imagination as far as what she can do. And Mr. Fantastic, yes, he stretches, but, you know, he doesn't really fight or whatever that much like that. He does fight, but he's usually wraps around whatever. Elastigirl turned into Glide, doing all types of things. She even, not even a spoiler, she gets a motorcycle that breaks in half to utilize her powers even better. Why? Because she can stretch out the back, like she disconnects it, and then slingshots it back to her, setting her to jump over things or go whatever. And the way she maneuvers this thing, yo, she's a pro. And it's funny because when she said the motorcycle was electric, and then I already knew what that meant. That meant instant torque. When you have electric cars, their torque is instant. It's not like a gas car where it has to build up. Boom. There's 0 to 60 in like a second. You know what I'm saying? Like in a couple seconds. As opposed to a car, a lot of horsepower, has to build up. You know, maybe it takes about like maybe 7 seconds, 8 seconds. No. Electric car, boom. 1 to 1,000 in like 2 seconds. So I already knew, kind of knew that. This is for adults that know that stuff. Nobody else, kids don't know, but she even said a torque. But I'm going off a tangent with that. Sorry, that's one of the things that I caught that makes this, you know, it's not just a kids movie, it's for adults too. But the way she maneuvered that thing, the way she fought, the way she did her thing, and there was no casualties, very little property damage. So, yo, she was already doing great. Meanwhile, at the home, the story follows her being a superhero and Bob deciding to, well, he has to be the parent at home because, you know, he's not going to be on the floor because it has to be kind of stealthy and, you know, they don't want property damage and he's going to be property damage. So he's following the kid, and the story is just him trying to be a good parent, trying to be a good father, and you really feel that. Everything about this movie was like, it was great. Like Jack was a standout because he was, you know, he was in the first one. Then I think he showed a little bit of power at the end. But Jack, yo, all the powers he got, multiple, expanding, exploding, like turning fire, turning invisible, teleporting, like, yo, everything, telekinesis, like anything you could think of, they were throwing these powers at this baby. And then the best part, there was 2 main parts. Sorry, this might be a little spoiler, but 2 main parts. One part, I'm going to just say, the fight with the raccoon. The fight with the raccoon, oh my god. That was hilarious. And just like, oh man, that was like, I could watch that over and over and over again. And then the scene 2 is pretty much after Bob is just going crazy because his kid with powers. This whole thing with the daughter and a date. You got Dash running around, not listening. He decides to take the baby, you know, Jack over to Helen. Helen, who was actually voiced by Brad Bird himself. If you guys didn't know, that was Brad Bird voicing Helen. Because he had an idea of the way the voice he wanted, but no one sounded the way he wanted it. So he just did the voice himself. And Helen, I sort of liked it from the first one, but this one I definitely liked it because she had nothing to do with him until she saw the baby with powers. She's like, oh my god, I'll take him. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, she wanted to test, give him a new suit, just like use her brain to make a suit or perfect, like, I guess, technology for the baby. And that part was kind of cool. And then when, like I said, my second scene was when Bob came back to pick them up. The baby's just walking with a sucker. Like, yo, they just got it down. She's walking, and then it goes to the secret door. He's like, Jack, hand. This is Jack, eye. This is Jack, speak. And then opens a special door. Yo, like I said, Jack was a standout of this movie. I'm going to run down the voice actors real quick. Of course, Brad Bird was Edna. You've got Samuel Jackson playing Frozone. You've got Holly Hunter playing Elastigirl. You've got Craig T. Nelson playing Mr. Incredible. You have Sarah Vowell playing Violet. You've got Huck Milner playing Dash. You've got Sophia Bush playing Void, which I thought, like, the way the hair and everything, I could have sworn that was Kristen Wiig, but I was wrong. I was saying that in the theater, but turns out I was wrong. Kristen Wiig's not in this movie. You've got Winston Dever, played by Bob Odenkirk. You've got Evelyn Dever, played by Jonathan Banks, which is crazy. Jonathan Banks, hey, sometimes, you know, guys can do girls voice acting, girls can do guys voice acting. That's how it works. But, and then Phil Miller, who played, what was the guy's name again? Let me look real quick. It was like a Russian accent. It was a Crusher and Helix, or the 2 people he played. And Crusher, one of the best lines was at the end where he's like, Crusher, can't you open? Crusher cannot uncrush. Can you unpunch? Like, you know, it sort of made sense. And then there was a lot of things that were great about this movie. But there are a few things that I thought were flaws in this movie, and there was like plot holes. It didn't take too much away, but I could already say, like, it was predictable. I was predicting who was the bad guy. At first I predicted it was this person, then I was like, nah, it'd probably be this person, but I didn't tell the person I was with what or who I really thought it was. So there was predictability of the bad guy. There was the plot hole of the reason for the bad guy doing a bad guy thing that I don't want to spoil it too much. I just give you little snippets, but I want you guys to see the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, you guys need to see this movie. The movie is great. As far as everything, if I have to give this movie a grade, I would give this... But before I give it again, let me just state that everyone got their time to shine. Frozone, like Samuel Jackson, the first one they showed him a little bit. This one, he was saving everybody. Pretty much whenever there was something flying towards the building or whatever, Frozone was the one that actually stopped it. You've got Elastigirl showing off her thing as far as empowerment for women and just like, you know, taking charge and beating guys. You have the kids who actually show that they could do stuff without the parents. Like, they saved the parents. You know what I'm saying? They sort of did it before with Elastigirl, but the kids are the ones that kind of saved everybody. Even with Jack there, you've got like Bob, who showed there was more to him than just muscle and brawn. There was this one moment, I didn't cry, but it was just like so heart-wrenching when he was telling Violet that he just wants to be a good dad. He just wants to be a good dad and be there and just do something great. And he says, I have to succeed so your mom can succeed, so we can succeed. And that was just one of those lines. But like I said, when he talked to the daughter and she saw that he was really trying, because she was like, you ruined my life with this whole guy that wanted to go on a date and stuff like that. It just, I felt it. Even though, me personally, I never really had a father there for me. My mom was my father figure as well as my mother's mother figure. You know, happy Father's Day for all the people that has been passed. But yeah, so this movie had so many things: empowerment, Me Too, like family, fathers, black people having power. Frozone got his time to shine. This movie was just great on so many levels. And even though there was flaws that I normally would drop some points, I still have to give this movie an A. And yes, I have to say, I liked it better than the first one. It had more of everything. You had Jack, you had the kids, you had Bob at home, even though you didn't get to shine that much, but you saw more side of him. You had Elastigirl showing that she was a badass before she was with Bob. You got Frozone showing why he's the man. He's basically like the Batman, and Batman gets things done. Superman may be the strongest person, may take things down, but you know who's in the back, you know who has a plan, you know who is there to make sure things turn out right. That's Frozone right there. Frozone's the Batman of this universe. And I gotta say that I love this movie. I'll watch it again. Everybody, y'all need to see it. Like I said, it would be an A+ if it wasn't for those major plot holes that I'm not telling you what they are, but let's just say the reason for this guy, or reason for the person doing what they're doing, it makes no sense if the situation was already that way. That's all I'm saying. Like I said, I'm not giving up spoilers like that. But that's pretty much it. If you guys want to see the movie, remember to go to the movie theaters right now. There's so many deals. If you want to go to a cheaper movie, go on Tuesdays, because movies are cheaper in most theaters. Maybe sometimes $5, sometimes $6, sometimes $7. It all depends on where you go. But check it out. Tuesdays is usually a cheaper day. So that's pretty much my review for Incredibles. So remember to comment down below. Remember to put on the notification, that bell or wherever it is. I can't remember where it is, but notifications for all my videos that I'm comment. If you like this movie, if you've seen the movie, talk to me about it, because I want to talk to you guys about it. So remember to subscribe, check out my last nerd review movie, and check out the playlist of all my reviews of my movies. So remember, I'm Wes Grant, you've been watching Suburban Nerd, and you've just been nerdified. Catch you guys on the next movie review.